Hello, fellow counselors and entrepreneurs. One of the many questions I get when doing consultation work or at a conference or just talking to somebody about my book or about their website is social media right for me? I remember talking to a therapist out of Houston not too long ago who was just telling me he was so afraid of being on social media because he didn't like that people could just say terrible things about counseling or about him or his practice, and while the fear was arguably real, the fact is that you have to have some level of social media, otherwise nobody's going to be able to find you. Nobody's going to be able to know what you're doing. I think really social media is the yellow book of today in a lot of ways. And not that you have to be extremely savvy. You don't have to have Taylor Swift level social media skills. You don't have to have an MBA or expertise, and you don't have to hire a 12-year-old to run it for you. But you do have to have some amount of social media presence. And so today that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, is social media right for me, and how do I know if social media is right for me? And it's a big question. It's an important question. But the big function of social media is one, to build your brand, right? So people know who you are. And two, it drives organic search results, organic SEO, natural SEO, to your website. It just pushes more traffic to your website. It makes you look more legitimate to search engine managers like Google, Yahoo, Bing, all that stuff, right? So that's good. So that's one of the main reasons why you need social media. It's no longer a question of if we do social media right. We talk about this in the book. It is the fact that you have to do it. So the question is now really, how well do you do social media? It is a major part of our society. And at the very least, you need to have a LinkedIn page. You should definitely have a LinkedIn page. You should definitely have some form of social media that's pushing to your website. And you can see, as we have up here, this is our Tailored Counseling Group homepage. Really excited about this homepage. It's very nice, very clean. It has our name and our branding, very simple right here. It's very easy for a client to make an appointment. It's very easy for them to see information that might be necessary for them. And then the first thing we have is our social media. We have Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. So it's very easy for them to interact with us on those levels. And it's also very easy for those mediums to push traffic to our website. And then, we have kind of our belief structure, what we're doing here. We have a nice little video for people to see. And then we have some information about what we do. And then some more videos and more information for people to get involved. So it's really clean and simple, and that's really what you want when we're talking about social media. All right. So let's start with a simple question: do you enjoy social media? Do you like it? Do you have fun with it? Do you like to sit on the couch and send out tweets? Do you like to say, hey, at Oprah, did you know about this? Or do you like to watch the news and tweet along? Or do you like to get involved with Instagram? Do you like to post photos about stuff? If you do, then great. Utilize those likes, those enjoyments, and just integrate that into your business. Integrate that into your practice. So just add those things as you continue to do them. Just be deliberate and intentional in the way that you do them, and make sure it is a clear image of your brand, of what you stand for, of your identity, right? So if you do like it, that is great. What about if you don't? Well, that's okay. And if you read through my digital practice, and if you haven't, now's a great time to grab a copy off the website, $19.95. We'll ship it anywhere you are. Or just that ebook, $11.99. You can download that today and start reading this weekend and just kind of get a good idea of where you are and where you need to go. But if you've been reading the book, and if you've read the book, you know that the book starts with identity. And social media is the exact same. You have to have a clear identity. So if you look at all of our social media outlets, our Twitter page is very consistent with our branding and image. Our LinkedIn page, my LinkedIn page, is very consistent with our branding and image. Our Facebook page, again, giving out the same image, right? It's giving out the same image of Tailored Counseling Group, professional care, affordable rates. And then as people see they see our team, and they see a movie that we have up, and some other wonderful stuff about our blog posts, right, and all that. So we definitely have all of those items, right? And then same thing with our Instagram feed. Again, you have that kind of same stuff there, and some of the stuff we've been doing, especially highlighting our team and those things, right? And then you have that same thing again on our Pinterest page, which is very new. We're really excited about our Pinterest page, and this is a great way for us to maximize kind of our blogs and what we've been doing and what we've been kind of talking about, right? So it's all very exciting. Now, you don't need to have all of those, right? Especially if you don't like it. If you don't like social media, that's okay. I'm not a big personal fan of it. I don't spend a lot of personal time on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. I don't spend any personal time on Instagram or Facebook. But, it's some people do, some people don't, and that's okay. But your business, your practice does need to have some time on social media. It doesn't need to have all of them. So if there's one you enjoy more than other, just pick that one. Just do Twitter, just do Facebook, just do LinkedIn, just do Pinterest. There's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't have a LinkedIn page. It's just a bio. It's really easy to put together. So do that immediately. But if you don't like it, that's okay. Either find somebody that does and give them a monthly budget to manage it, and not a big budget. You don't need to pay them $5,000 a month. You're not a major publishing company, but you do need to pay them something. Either it's a grad student or your little brother or just a friend that's just helping you out, that has some experience in this. That's great, and that's totally fine. Pay them $100 a month. Pay them $20 a week. Whatever you're going to do, just make sure you pay them something. And make sure they're committed to running it for you well, and then just make sure you have a plan together, right? So you don't need to do them all, but you definitely want to take a look at least one or two, right? But the biggest thing is putting together a plan, right? So if we're asking the question, how do I know if social media is for me? The immediate answer is yes. If you have a private practice, it is for you. You need to do it to some degree. So the next question really is, to what degree should I do that social media? And that's going to really be up to you and how you want to run it, right? If you are looking for really big growth, then I highly recommend that you get on all platforms you can and submit that clear, clean, regular image that everybody's going to see and everyone's going to have together, and all your clients are going to be able to see that, right? So we definitely want you to have that clear, consistent image. If you're just there to bring on a therapist or two, and you just want to have a little bit of growth from time to time, or you just want to be stable and clean and clear, and Facebook's not your thing, that's totally okay. Just find something, do LinkedIn and maybe Instagram, and throw up a nice quote every once in a while. That's okay too. So one of the big things about social media is it has many outlets. There's many mediums in which to communicate. So for professionals, this typically comes in the form of LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, now Instagram, which is pretty new, and Pinterest as well has gotten more popular as well. So these are kind of the 5 you need to be aware of: Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. I don't know that Snapchat is a really important aspect of social media. I don't think it is at all for businesses, but it is definitely there. And if you want to know more about these kind of on a 101 level, like you've never had Facebook before, you never had LinkedIn before, or you're just now learning how to get started with some of those things, that's totally fine. What you want to do is go to this fun website, Social Media 101, and it's right here at blogs.constantcontact.com /social media quick starter, right? And you'll kind of see this Social Media 101 guide, which is pretty cool. I think they did a great job. This is a wonderful video you can watch. And then you just have this 101 for every type of social media out there. So you got Facebook 101, Twitter 101, LinkedIn 101, Pinterest 101, Instagram 101, Google My Business, which we're going to do a whole nother podcast on, another whole nother video on. And then you have kind of this YouTube and Snapchat. Now, I don't know, for us really in professional counseling, that YouTube and Snapchat have a whole lot of use. Definitely Snapchat. Do not Snapchat with your clients. That's just going to get you into trouble very quickly. Please don't do that. YouTube, I think, probably could have some value, especially if you want to have a lot of high definition videos or animations on your website like we do. So these are all hosted on YouTube, which is nice. But we don't really have a YouTube channel. Now, I do know a few professionals that do have YouTube channels that really enjoy them and like to have kind of like a video blog, a vlog, right, where they host those on YouTube. They also enjoy having mini lectures or just conversations or topics of a client asked me about this week, and I just thought it was an interesting question, so I wanted to share it. But I think those are much more popular through podcasts now, really, than YouTube videos. But if that's something you're interested in, you like the idea of a vlog or a YouTube channel, you can definitely check out that as well. And these guides are all free, which is amazing. So you can just click on this Facebook 101 guide, and it'll just kind of walk you through everything you need to know to set up Facebook, like how to promote your Facebook page. Boom. And it just walks you through. Use the network you already have. Add a follow button. Create a Facebook ad. Share helpful content. Promote your page offline. All this stuff that they just have for every single question that you might have about Facebook, which is amazing. And then they have the same thing for Twitter, which is just awesome. With these wonderful videos that are highly informative. So you'll have all that there, and that's for you on the 101 level, right? So you're just kind of starting out. I don't really know what to do or which way to go. So definitely take a look at those. Look at those tutorials, those 101s. If you already have a good handle on how social media works, then good for you. That's great. What you really want to start to analyze are your strengths and weaknesses. All right, so it kind of brings us into the next part of our video here, which is really determining which medium is right for you. So which social media should I use? But then also helping you to just kind of maximize your strengths and weaknesses as you see them develop. So we all have different strengths. I have, at Taylor Counseling Group, we have many counselors, several counselors on staff, and some of them love to blog. One of them loves to blog about current events, like current TV shows, like This Is Us. And one of them hates to blog and just wants to do fun quotes. So if you love to blog, then blogging is great. Pinterest might be great for you. Twitter, Facebook, where you can share your blog posts. Those are great. Those are great tools, right? But if you hate blogging, then don't blog, right? But maybe take a look at some nice quotes that you could put up on Instagram. Maybe you could share those as well on other mediums. So just kind of think about that. Think about those pros and cons, right? So for LinkedIn is an amazing social media tool for networking, right? So we all have a LinkedIn account. If you don't, get one today. You want to have a LinkedIn page if you're a professional, because you can connect with other professionals, right? Like you can go to My Network and you can see what other people are doing, and you can connect with other people, and you can see what other people are posting about and what's going on around you from a business level. And then you can also see job postings. You can search for people on LinkedIn. You can look at some notifications as far as did somebody like a post of yours or comment on a post of yours. And you can definitely engage with others through this network. Like here is one of my colleagues, Dr. Paul Stanford, who is posting about a new blog post, What Makes Love Last, which is great. Definitely going to read that later. So you'll see those kinds of posts, which is wonderful. And if you want to grow your practice, LinkedIn is a great way to get your name out there so other therapists know about you and are able to find you, right? It is also a great tool to expand your referral network. You're going to meet a lot of other therapists. You're going to be able to network with them. And if you have a question, you can definitely get involved with other therapists and refer to other therapists as well. You're going to want to do it to promote your brand, which is amazing. A great way to get your image out there and your brand out there, to remind people of what you're doing, and just to make that known. And then, of course, if you have any products, you got a book or a podcast or something you're trying to promote, you can definitely do that right here on LinkedIn. So it's great. So LinkedIn is a wonderful tool. In addition to LinkedIn, we have Facebook. Facebook's a great tool as well. And Facebook, we can do a lot of the same stuff we can do on LinkedIn, but it's less professional, right? So you should have a Facebook page if you are in private practice, group, or nonprofit. They're great. Facebook page is great for your private practice. You can definitely broadcast all the stuff you've been doing, videos, interviews, blog posts, job openings, all that stuff right here, branding, everything. But you do want to be careful with Facebook not to interact with clients in a personal way. You don't want to violate those boundaries. You want to hold true to those boundaries, right? And then you can connect with your fellow communities, right? So if you have things going on in your local community, you can connect with them that way. You connect with fellow therapists. You can network and expand your advertising. You can also advertise direct to clients. It's not really a function you can do on LinkedIn. It is something you can do through Facebook with Facebook ads, which is a great way of promoting directly to clients. And that's a way that you might be able to bring in new clients, and current clients can come on Facebook, and they can follow you, and they can like your page, and they can share your page, and they can rate you, and all this other wonderful stuff. So Facebook is a great tool. And then with Facebook, Twitter is an amazing tool as well. I really love Twitter because Twitter is this wonderful tool where we are doing a little bit more than just socializing. It's really important as far as news goes. So there's a lot of news and current events and things that are going on. Like right here, NAMI New Orleans is sharing this thing about hurt people, right? So that's a great piece of information there for you that you can see. And Jim Carrey just finally admitted what was long suspected. So I don't know what that means, but so that's a promotion there, and you can send out promotional tweets as well. But that's some great stuff that you can see on Twitter as promotion for podcasts, blogs, all this stuff. It's amazing. So it's a great place to get news and share news. It's a great place to promote your practice, develop your brand, and interact with other organizations and agencies. This is a great tool for you, right? And then we have Instagram. And, the joke really is that Instagram is basically Facebook for people who can't read. It's basically Twitter for people who can't read, which is kind of a bad joke. But Instagram is, a photo is worth 1,000 words, right? So Instagram is posting that amazing photo. Maybe you have a fact photo you want to send out there about how, facts about divorce and children, and you want to send out this fact page, right? And share that with people. So that's a great tool, and it's got your logo on it, and it can help promote and possibly get in more clients, things like that. So Instagram is very similar to Twitter in that respect. It's just more photo focused, more video focused than it is text-based focused. So if big articles aren't for you, if news and interaction is not for you in that level, Instagram can be a great tool to interact with others on a more visual, creative way. So it's very exciting to be a part of that medium. And then we also have Pinterest, which is a great tool. It is really becoming more useful in the business world now, the funny thing about Pinterest, I actually started by entomologists to study bugs. It's pretty crazy. But now it is about a great way to share stories and pin things to your board. And so you can kind of share some stories and great photos, and then people can pin that to their board and remind them to work on this idea of depression or self-help or just conflict recognition, self-love, all those things. So they'll definitely have that experience there. So if you are a small single practice just starting out, or a large practice ready to expand, all four medias are for you. You can definitely utilize all five. All five of these are for you. You can find space for each of them. You don't have to pick one. You don't have to do all five. There's definitely no requirement for you to do all five. So I firmly believe that we should just do one and do it well, right? If you can do 2 or 3 and do them well, great. If you can do 5 and do them well, great. But don't do 5 and not do any of them well. Don't do 4 and not do any of them well. Just set yourself a limit. Do that number well, and you're good to go. So there are 3 things that we need to identify when developing social media practice, right? When putting this into action. First and foremost is your target population, right? Who are you going to target with your social media? Who do you want to reach, right? If you are all about adolescent therapy and you're putting out a lot of social media for elder care, that's not going to help you. That's not going to get you to where you need to be. You want to target your population. If you don't know who that population is, now's a good time to start thinking about it. Now's a good time to go back to chapter 1 of My Digital Practice and really kind of get to work on that identity piece, because that's going to help you long term. If you don't know what your identity is, you're not going to be able to project this very clear and clean image throughout social media, and your time is going to be wasted. So you definitely want to make sure you're involved in that. You need to get your goals down. Number 2, have clear, strong goals. Know where you're going. Know what you're trying to do. If you open up a Facebook page and then you don't know what to do from there, it's because you don't have goals. If you look back on it 3 months later and say, well, this didn't do anything for me, it's probably because you didn't have goals and you didn't know how to measure it, right? Goals are just how we measure our success. That's how we measure our success, how we measure our failure. It is just a measurement to tell us when and where we need to change, when and what we need to change, right? So if we don't have goals for our social media, we don't know where we're going, we don't know what we're doing, we're just wasting time, right? And then 3, you need to be aware of your practice model, right? So the population that you're targeting and your goals that you have in mind for your social media are great, but you need to know your practice model very well as you start working on that social media, right? So if your practice model is just to build up clientele for you, you don't want to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads, right? But if it's to bring in a lot of clients for many therapists, then you might want to invest more money into those things. If you just want this clean, clear image that's just echoing your brand throughout multiple mediums, then social media is great, and go with the free stuff. Take on Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and just focus on that, So those are the big 3 things that you need to identify when you're setting out with social media. And then there are 5 things you need to put together to make a plan, right? So once we have this idea, we have the population that we're targeting down, we have our goals set out, and then we have a good practice model that we know, that we are aware of, that we have identified. Now we want to put together a campaign, right? A marketing campaign. And this can be easy, it can be simple, and it can be complex, and it can be difficult. First and foremost, you need to decide what you're going to do. Are you using LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest? What are you doing? Which one are you going to go with? All 5? Just one? If you don't have none, don't go from none to 5. Don't go from 0 to hero overnight. You don't need that. And just pick one or two and go from there. And then 6 months down the road, pick another one or two and open those up. And then 6 months down the road, keep going like that until you're at a place that you're happy, that you like what you have. If you don't have any, that's a good way to go. If you have two or three and you don't want to open them another one, you just want to kind of go back and focus on them, or maybe you want to drop one or put one on ice or hold, that's okay too. But we want to set up our accounts. So once we decide which ones to use, next step is really easy. Just set up that account. Just go to Twitter and type it in. Get it set up, get it going. Pick a name that's easy, that's consistent, that fits with your brand and your goals, and just go ahead and set that up. And then number 3, set those SMART goals. Sometimes we can be too cool for school and forget that we're telling clients to do SMART goals, and then we forget to set the SMART goals ourselves. But now it's a great time to do that and just to set those simple, realistic, measurable goals. If I'm going to have my Facebook account open and online by September 1st, I want to have, 100 followers by the end of the year, right? That's a great way to set that up. Or 1,000 posts by the end of the year. If you don't know how to get followers and that's intimidating to you, just be active. Just say, I'm going to do these things, and then do them. And then number 4, track your progress, track your goals. Track it every week. Look back and say, hey, how many followers do we have this week? How many posts am I up to this week? Just track that progress. That is called data managing. Check your data, because that's the only way you're going to be able to measure your success right against your goals, right? And then number 5 is reassess every quarter. I really like quarterly reassessment. 3 months, 13 weeks is a phenomenal time to stop and reassess every quarter. I think in our industry, things don't change that quickly. So, weekly assessment, bi-weekly assessment is good. I just don't know that it has as much merit as quarterly evaluation. And sometimes we get afraid and we say, Facebook isn't working, Twitter isn't working, or I spent too much money on Google Ads and I want to get out and it's only been a month. It might just be that you just need to tool a little bit, that you just need to spend a little bit more time on it, a little bit more love on it, and not abandon it. Set those goals and then measure your progress every week. And then take a look at it at the end of the quarter and say, hey, man, over these past 3 months, we went from nothing to something. And maybe that was good. Maybe that was worth our time and effort, And maybe it wasn't. And maybe you're like, Facebook's not for me, or social media is not for me. And that's okay. But at least you've tried, you explored it, and you decided for yourself what was right, what wasn't right, right? So that's good for you. And now you have a good answer when someone says, hey, have you really tried social media before? You can say, absolutely, I have. And it just didn't work out for me. And that's okay. At least that you know. Or opposite to that, you'll come to the end of the three months, that quarter, and you'll say, wow, I'm seeing a real big difference. Clients are finding us easier. Our SEO has grown a little bit. Normally we're at the bottom of page 3. Now we're at the middle of page 2, which is great. Huge growth, But as with everything we do, being ethical is paramount, Social media can be a murky area for therapists, so we must be diligent to ensure that we are being ethical. We have to be. In our advertisement, and we must be careful to avoid dual relationships. So as we're advertising through social media, we have to be very careful not to say we're the best counselors wherever, not to say that we're doing this or doing that, and not to pressure clients to give us reviews. We want to make sure we're staying away from those things. We want to adhere to ethical advertisement. We don't want to mislead clients. We don't want to give them the idea that we can cure them of whatever ails them, but we just want to ethically promote our brand and our image and the ideas and values that we hold, right? And then we want to be very careful. We want to be very careful not to develop a dual relationship. Dual relationships with clients can be career-ending. So when you're on Facebook and Twitter, set those privacy standards to the highest level. If you have a personal privacy If you have a personal social media page, make sure that's all set to private and clients can't find you. And if they do reach out and want to be friends on those mediums, that you reject those, that you decline those, that you're not friends. That you're not sharing confidential information like booking new clients or getting insurance information through Facebook chat or through tweets, right? That you're not going out of your way to follow other clients, that you're not, obsessing over clients on social media pages. You're not looking people up. You're not engaged in that behavior. Just set those firm relationships, avoid the dual relationships, have those firm, strong boundaries, and it'll be great. You won't have anything to worry about. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're going to be able to kind of decide for yourself if social media is right for you, and hopefully it's a good stepping off part for you. Definitely check out those one-on-one videos and tutorials and guides. Those are amazing. We'll have more videos for you here on My Digital Practice. If you haven't got the book yet, we talk about all this in Chapter 7, and I think you'll really love it. So take some time, get that. $19.95, we'll ship it to you anywhere you are, and $11.99 for the ebook, which you can download today, right now. That being said, take a few minutes, think about it. Is social media right for me? And then get to work. So I hope that helps.